Now I have joyous warnings for Kanab, Utah. Joey Bishop, Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr. are all going to be there to start their new picture, The Badlands, come Tuesday. Look out. Joey Bishop.
I've never worn this type of mask before. I just like to say that Tonto is a fink.
Joey, where are you?
Wait, I'm here, but, you know, I may have to disqualify myself on ignorance.
If I had one, would I let Joey use it sometimes?
You might.
Is it something that I would let Arlene use if I had it?
I think so.
You're wrong, sir. That's right, I'm pretty selfish.
Is there something that would be used in the police force?
2 tickets for a ball.
Since you put it that specifically, it's now 9 down and 1 to go, Mr. Bishop.
You lucky son of a gun, you're going to win $50. Were you in the Belmont race?
Yes.
Belmont Stakes. I don't like to mention steaks and horses.
Is it larger than Joey Bishop?
Yes. You mean professionally?
Nothing is larger than you professionally.
Thank you.
That's nothing.
When the race was over, were...
When you're on the horse, yes.
Is it found more in one room than in another?
Not necessarily.
You would pick a place probably in which you would choose to put this product. To that degree, it would be found more in one, perhaps, section of the house than another.
Oh, in other words, it could be found in any room of the house.
It could be, but it's most likely that you would find it in one section of the house rather than another.
That's funny, John, because that's the first question I asked, and we're back to it again. We are safe in assuming that this is a male. Is that correct?
Want to make something out of it, buddy?
No. See,
What's wrong with horse meat?
There's a new switch. He's asking us questions. Let's perhaps clarify it. When I say room and you say section, are we talking of the same thing?
No, actually, and you know, I'm almost persuaded we ought to give you a no.
I wish you would, John, because it's becoming embarrassing.
Well, I think actually it's confusing you. I was trying not to give you a no because it could be found in any room in the house.
But what's confusing me is you've got the card halfway up. That's confusing me. Is it something that you would get somewhere quicker than walking? No.
I'm afraid not, Joe.
How come you don't hesitate when I ask him a question?
Is it alive when you're handling it?
Yes.
Is it a four-legged animal?
No.
No.
Does it fly?
4 out of 6 to go, Mr. Bishop.
Does it breathe? Is something that is alive in your hands,
Yes.
but has departed when it reaches our hands?
Is your question
Well, that's right, like a chicken plucker, right?
Are you at the Copacabana?
No.
Mr. Bishop?
I'll tell you one thing, you better lay off singing, it's killing your voice. Is it a service in which you come in contact with people?
Yes. Now, do you mean here just generally meet a lot of people, Joey, or in physical contact?
John, I don't mean anything. When I get a chance and he says yes, I just keep going. I want you to realize, sir, that your appearance here is costing me another appearance I might have had on this show. I'm just dying to ask you, what do you do for a living? I meant in dealing his services. Hey, wouldn't it be funny, John, if I became intelligent now and you had to listen?
Explosive like gunpowder or dynamite or anything like that?
It has no moving parts and can be used to get
And yet
rid
it's
of something
dangerous.
else. And it's dangerous. So far, I've got mother-in-law. Is it more decorative than practical?
It's...
Oh, no.
Am I in trouble again, John?
you're giving me, a dreadful time here. It's...
You want me to be less brilliant, John? I'll be less brilliant.
It has practical applications that are overriding, and to the degree that it might be decorative, this would be only incidental to the practicalities which were involved in the gathering into and of the product. That's what $2 to go, Mr.
It is something you can only do in England.
No.
I mean you specifically.
Yes, me specifically.
How about that, John? I saved us $5.
Would you pose that question again?
I'll tell you what, John, give him 2.5 and pass me. John, talking to you is just like going to night school.
He'd race all by himself.
Well, maybe he's a lousy driver, and that's why he comes in contact with people. We should have known from the way he was arguing with us he was a cab driver.
And here is Joey Bishop.
I just want to explain this sudden outburst of amour. Last Sunday, when the What's My Line people asked me to do the show, I explained I'd love to do it, but I didn't have a tuxedo to wear. I was in the company of Frank Sinatra at the time. The jacket I'm wearing is Frank Sinatra's tuxedo, and Arlene is nuts about the jacket.
And you.
I also want to remind you, Frank, you left no money in it. I heard a wonderful taxi cab joke. May I tell it?
Yeah.
These two women got into the back of a cab, and they were talking about how much money they thought the cab driver earned and how much money he earned in tips and so forth. And then one woman said, "Where's your ashtray?" And the cab driver said, "Just put your ashes on the floor. I have a woman who comes in 3 days a week." I don't know how long the show has been on the air, John. And as many weeks as I've watched it, I said, John Daly has some sort of a gimmick other than being a wonderful host. You're a mixer-upper. I tell you, so far, the government, and this is speaking purely from income, has not given me any benefit. I went down the other day, and I'm all paid up, thank the good Lord, till 1941. This is the first time I've ever heard of a team that worked together sometimes.
They're not married.
From the sound of their voices, they better not be. Product for the home.
You mean by this to adorn the home or to be used as a part of the day-to-day operation of a household?
Or what else, John? Ask me another one. Maybe I'll answer you. Let me ask you this, John. If I start to ask it and you reach for the card, can I withdraw the question?
Yes.
In the field of costume, let me ask you this.
How long, is this going to take long, Joe?
Well, say, Peter, considering you're from England and your country owes this country money, let me talk.
That was very well done.
I could have driven a cab tonight and made more money.
Good to have you with us.
Thank you very much, and I also want to thank this intelligent panel for taking one of my few personal appearances and cutting it down to nothing. How can you give me a no if I didn't understand the question I asked? I'm only on the show maybe 4 or 5 times a year. Did he have to show up tonight?
It's 4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Bishop.
John, he loves it when we're stupid, right? This says, I am safe in assuming that's an American sport. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
And first you must forgive me. I thought, you know, in terms of misuse. And then I don't know if it's a sport. So you threw me when you said indoor and outdoor. But by the same token, I don't make a living out of this show either, so I don't have to be that clever. You understand what I mean, John?
Yep.
Now we're getting to the point. Now, what was the question I asked you, John? I forgot. I just made a startling observation, John. It's never the guest that stopped me from guessing. She does. She asks so many questions and so many yeses that I don't remember half the things that she's gotten a yes answer from.
What's going on here?
John. Well, I may only further embarrass you, but when you got up from your chair, one of your pants legs was above your knee.
Usually this happens when I have my Western boots on. I don't even have that excuse tonight. Thanks very much, though, Joey. You all right now?
Buddy Hackett.
Yeah, Buddy Hackett. I'll kill you. Do you know that today at 4 o'clock he asked me would I drive him to the airport? He had to be in Chicago.
Well, Joey and I won a tournament at the Englewood Country Club today, and Joe said, let's celebrate. I said, Joe, drive me to the airport. He said, I can't. I'm working tonight. I said, what time are you working? He said, I got to be there about 9:30. I said, you got plenty of time to take me to the airport. I would take you. He said, Bud, don't. I just won a tournament. I want to have a couple of drinks with the fellas.
I hate to mention that bread box. Is it as large as Joey Bishop?
No.
No, it's not.
Can I at least thank her, John?
Mr. Bishop.
Mr. Who?
Bishop.
I'm not that well known, John, if you can mispronounce my name.
I haven't a clue. I passed, Joey.
Mr. Bishop?
That's what I like. If I'd have known you could have passed, John, I'd have passed when he first sat down. I just want to say to show you the kind of luck I have. There are 2 celebrities with the initials MM, and he had to show up.
You work in something other than show business?
No.
I'll show you how clever I am. Then you work in show business. And they thought I couldn't play this game. I am in the nightclub end of it. Would it be other than that end which I am in?
Other than that end in which I am.
If you know so much, John, you sit here, let me sit down. It's tough enough playing the game without being grammatically correct.
Well, you know what Mr. Churchill said about that?
No.
Oh, Mr. Churchill is the great defender of ending a sentence with a preposition. He was once corrected by an editor, and he wrote beside the edited page, "This is a piece of insolence up with which I will not put."
You've got me so confused, I don't know whether she's male or female. She's in a Broadway show, as far as I can figure. I mean,
She speaks as though she's saying.
Yeah, whether it's a musical or a non-musical.
how come it's my turn and they're all talking, John?
Thinking of saying, who called for a conference here?
I know what she does, and just for spite, I may not say it. Now, may I just explain this? It'll only take a moment.
Yeah, please, Joey.
Yesterday, Buddy Hackett and I, as a member at Englewood Country Club, tied for first place. So I called him this morning. I said, Buddy, we have a tie. We've got to play it off. He says, I can't. I have to go to Chicago. I said, but Buddy, we have to. So he says, all right, I'll play it off if you promise to take me to the airport. But it took us so long to play. Now, Buddy, I'll never talk to you again.
I really blew it when I wanted to call you tonight and say if you want to drive in together, but then I didn't think that.
No.